Hey guys, it's Eric Cronover from Nerdy Geek Talks for all your nerdy geeky needs here with episode 3 of Mandalore Mandate, our Star Wars news podcast. Here with me today, we have Luke. Luke, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I just wish it wasn't cold, and I really considered making a Hoth joke.
I am also very, very cold. I'm wearing a lot more layers inside of my room than I normally would be, so yeah. Like, I even have my shoes on. I never wear my shoes, but that's how cold my feet are. But anyways, alas, that's like the first episode of the Clone Wars we're going to talk about this week on Holocron
Likely
Herald.
planned
But
that.
yeah, we did. no, we
Yeah,
no, we didn't.
I'm one of those bug monkey things, whatever you want to call those.
I like those. But anyways,
I don't.
uh, but yeah, if you want to see what we're talking about, definitely tune in to the next episode of Holocron Herald, which will be up tomorrow, whenever you're listening to this. And yeah, John isn't here again. Sadly, he was supposed to be, but last minute he got called into work again. So it should be resolved somewhat soon that he'll be able to record with us again. But for now, you got the two of us. But it's okay because we're
Just the
fun.
two of us.
Don't make it creepy. All right. But on this day, a long, long time ago, in this galaxy right here, so the date of this recording is April 17th of 2018. But on this day in 1973, so April 17th, 1973, George Lucas began writing a story treatment called The Star Wars. So yes, George Lucas began writing Star Wars 45 years ago on this
Yeah.
day. Wow, that's
You
a
really
little weird to
you,
think about.
you would think that would be like more of a prominent thing that they throw out there.
Yeah, I don't know.
That that is. I figured like somebody would tweet it out or
Yeah,
something.
I haven't seen anybody mention it, but I don't know. I mean,
All right.
I had no idea until I looked just on, today's events on
Yeah.
Wikipedia and I saw that and I was like, "Oh, well that's a." See, it's not even just like that, like that's an important event, but also the fact that it's the 45-year anniversary of that day. So, that is certainly interesting to me.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's weird.
but
Oh well, I
yeah.
guess we'll tweet that out after this. We'll be those people. We'll be the
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, we will. We'll do something special. But yeah, so first up on our list of news is that Empire magazine has some new images and details for Star Wars. I mean, Solo, a Star Wars story. Um, the main thing that I got from these images, the only thing I really cared about that much, is that the whatchamacallit, I think Voss, yeah, that's his
Yeah.
name, the criminal like overlord guy. He has a set of sick Mandalorian armor in the
Does he?
back. He's
Oh,
not
that is
wearing
cool.
it, but it's on
Well, that looks like
display.
samurai armor.
I know. That's
That's
what's so cool.
awesome.
Which, if you aren't aware, there is actually like a action figure line that does like samurai versions of
What?
Star Wars
What?
characters. I think they might do other than Star Wars characters, but like they've done Boba Fett and Jango Fett, also Darth
That's
Vader,
cool.
Stormtroopers, all that. But that's what it kind of reminds me of. Man, that is so cool. Some people were thinking originally like, oh my gosh, is that Boba Fett in the background? But now that we have clear images, no, it's just super super cool Mandalorian armor on display in his
Makes me wonder what he
place. So.
collects.
Also, not I don't. I'm curious. I don't think it's anywhere in these pictures, but spotted in the trailer recently was actually whatchamacallit. Uh oh, a Sith holocron was
Oh
in his
yeah, yeah.
collection,
I heard about that.
which is interesting. I find that very interesting. I'm curious if that's true or not. I
I Does he
I,
just collect cool stuff?
I mean, he has a bunch of like artifacts around and stuff, and also Ron Howard tweeted at a fan who's saying like, "Oh, I normally I love Star Wars, but I only care for Jedi and Sith stuff, so I guess I'm just gonna watch this for like a specific actor. I don't remember which one." And he responded saying like, "I don't think you'll be disappointed." Like so.
Ha!
So,
Get wrecked.
it's possible that that maybe some of the stuff he has in his collection that they're either going to try to take from him or that he has. I don't know. But either way, it's possible that he has some Sith holocron, and it could just be some Sith holocrons or something. Which, in all fairness, Sith holocrons are way more rare than Jedi holocrons, and this would be the first time we'd see one on screen. So that is pretty
So
neat.
is are they robbing him or are they working for him?
It's a good question. I think they're working for him, but he's also being said to be one of the main villains, so it's possible maybe they turn on him or something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Every time I look at him, I think of Neil Patrick Harris, so he doesn't seem that threatening to me.
But yeah, I don't know. I find these images very interesting, and that Mandalorian armor is super cool. It would be really cool if we got to find out, like in a like one of the books that breaks down like a visual dictionary or whatever that like breaks down all the stuff in the movie, all the props and stuff. That if it
Yeah.
told us like whose armor that was, or like how old, like where it came from or stuff, like if that's from the Mandalorian Wars, or if that's
What
like
is
somewhat recent one, like if that's a famous Mandalorian
what
or not,
is
I don't know.
what is that weapon he had? Like the weapon with it?
That's a good question. They kind of look like axes to me.
Yeah, how would you use them? That's what I first, because it looks like a gun sword, like a gun spear.
Good, yeah, I don't know. Good question. I'm kind of curious how those would be used too, but alas, I do not know. Oh, and something that we normally don't do on the show, just because we don't get stuff very often, but I did this week get, and the next news item is what reminded me of it, uh, a Black Series figure for Star Wars.
Ooh.
I got the new Solo movie. I got Lando,
Of
and
course you did.
oh my goodness, he's
That's who the
beautiful.
movie's about. That's who I care about.
Yeah, it is Donald Glover as Lando, and it's a really, really good figure. Like, really good. I think the likeness is awesome. He has a cape that he can, take off or put on, and then also a scarf that he can take on, off, or put on, and
Oh
then
boy.
bright yellow
That's
shirt.
you make me want to get that.
He has a nice silver gun, which can also have what I assume is a silencer. It's it looks like a silencer. I mean, it's possible that the functionality is different in the movie, but it is a thing you add to the barrel to extend it, or as a barrel extension. I don't know,
It's a space silencer.
either way, it is very neat, and he is very neat looking. I will have a couple more from that wave, two more from that wave coming. They should be here probably by the next episode, but I won't say them, so you get to find out next
Uh,
week which ones
Now
I
I know
got.
who Eric's man crush is.
Donald Glover.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, I do love Donald Glover. Like, I don't think there's a single thing that I've seen him of his or like him in that I haven't liked him in. So actually, that's pretty good. That's not a far fetched thing to say. I don't know. I do like Donald Glover quite a bit. But the reason I brought that up is because Hasbro has announced a Black Series unboxing contest. So I will read the instructions. So you must have an Instagram account to. Sorry. You must have an Instagram
Nice,
account to
nice.
enter. Instagram accounts can be obtained by visiting Instagram.com and following the on-screen instructions to create an account. To enter the contest, entrants must create their own unboxing video featuring a current Hasbro-branded Star Wars The Black Series figure and/or vehicle. Entrance videos can be no longer than 60 seconds and should not include any person other than the entrant, any third-party intellectual property, which basically means no logos on T-shirts, posters on the wall, or a non-Hasbro product. Entrants must post their video on their public Instagram account with the hashtag Hasbro Black Series Unboxing Contest. That must be clear and conspicuous above the fold. So basically, put the hashtag at the top, I think is what it means. So yeah, and then
Oh,
you can check out Hasbro
Eric.
Pulse to see more details. But
Okay. So, crap. I wish you were back here just because we should do an unboxing and just scream for like a solid 45 seconds.
I know that would be really funny, but sadly, they have to be turned in by tomorrow. So that's as of this recording. So if you're listening to this, you have to post it on the day that it goes up, the 18th. The 18th is the last day to submit it. Winners will
That
be announced on the
sucks.
20th. So basically, if you're listening to this on Wednesday, the 18th, and you're interested, record something and get it up that day, and they're gonna pick it within the next 2 days, and then it'll be up on the 20th. So we'll know who the winner is by next week. So yeah, if you're interested, go for it. I would do it, but I already opened my Lando, and
Yeah,
then my
yeah.
other
Way to go,
solo
Eric.
figures are not going to be here for at least a couple days, so it's kind of sad. But
Way to go.
oh well, better luck next time. But yeah,
Ruined the
so
experience.
if you are listening on the day of this and you have an unopened solo thing, go for it. Also, I did see the Black Series Sand Trooper with the shoot. What's it called? What's the giant lizard things they ride?
I don't care about sand troopers. We established that last week. I care about mud troopers.
Man, I can't remember. I know what it's called, but this is bothering me. Dewback.
Sand.
It's a dewback.
Oh yeah.
All right. I just needed to check because I needed to know. So, next thing we have is: have you seen what the Mark Hamill comments that people are going nuts over?
Yeah, I don't see why people are being so negative about this.
People are saying like, "Oh, he doesn't want to return to the franchise or anything. He hates Star Wars." Like, no. His remarks are perfectly reasonable about what specifically on the returning to Star Wars. There's some other stuff too, but that one is one that mainly people are going nuts over. Um, his one of his great friends, whom he if he returned as a Force Ghost in 9, that he would have got to be on set with, is dead, and then his other friend from the original trilogy is
Oh.
dead in universe, so he's not going to be in the movie because he's not Force sensitive. Like he's not going to be a Force
Oh,
Ghost.
that does make sense.
So yeah,
That
there's
yeah, that would be really
by
sad.
no means is he saying that he will not return for sure. He's just saying that he's a lot less excited. Is mainly what he's been saying. Um,
Yeah, that'd be really sad.
so yeah, that's totally reasonable. Now that said, he's already hinted multiple times previously and even post this that he will be remaking a return for 9. Who knows? I think it's pretty likely, but we don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. He also made some remarks on Snoke, basically saying, like he's saying, I'm a fan too, so I understand that you guys all get excited, but I don't understand why you guys are so upset over them getting rid of Snoke. He's
I
like,
miss him. I
I,
really do.
I mean, I'm sure we'll find out more about Snoke, and I hope we find out more about Snoke. But them killing him in the movie, I personally believe was the right move. But
If
hey,
they if they can convince me in episode 9, like, yes, that was his master plan, I would be okay with it. But the fact that there's like no exact hint at it, like, yeah, he says some stuff to me that you can be like, yeah, if I twist that right. But I just want them to be like, yep, that was his plan.
for Snoke to die,
Yeah, like that was Snoke's
I
plan.
don't think that was Snoke's plan. I don't know. I think it's possible that could be it, but I think it's okay if it wasn't because I think it shows just it's bringing Kylo Ren to the forefront. And to be honest, from what we know, Kylo Ren is a heck of a lot more interesting of a character than Snoke is. Don't get me wrong, Snoke was cool and stuff, but
Did you see
he was
his
only
black
cool.
ring? Did you see his slippers that are specifically made to provide him more comfort?
Yeah. And then there's basically him saying, this Mark Hamill saying, that the kid with the broom, he really liked that ending, which
Why? Why
I
do people hate that?
do. A lot of people hate that. I've seen a lot of people liking
I
that. I don't
I
know.
get a lot of people hating on that, like, because I've been watching videos this week about it, and like people just hate on it hard. I don't get why, because like you can't like hate Ray for being as strong as she is, and then also hate the fact that there's more Force users, because that just contradicts each other.
I mean, this kid barely knows how to do anything, so he's not strong with
Yeah,
the Force, but I don't know. I don't know. Basically, it's just to show that, hey, The Last Jedi is never The Last Jedi, which bothers me, but just
yeah,
as the end of the movie, I don't mind it. I don't love it as much as some people do. I understand why people like it. It doesn't rub me the wrong way either. It's just kind of there for me. It doesn't make as big of a difference to me as it does to most people. But I can understand why a lot of people would really like it. In terms of not liking it, I'm not sure why you wouldn't. I don't know though.
yeah.
I find
I,
it
I
interesting
love I love that Mark Hamill was just like, yeah, they're just gonna keep making these movies.
because they are. But yeah, I do think that it's
Uh,
funny that he's just like, yeah, they're just gonna keep making them, which is so true.
all I could think of, because I was reading like comics before like I watched that interview,
Hmm.
and I was watching something with the Reverse Flash. He's like, we're just gonna do this again and again and again and again, and I
Oh,
couldn't stop laughing after I
like
watched that.
whatchamacallit, like Doctor Strange, Dormammu, I've come to bargain. Dormammu,
Yeah,
I've come to bargain. I've come to bargain. Anyways, uh, That's basically Star Wars from now on. But anyways, next piece is that reportedly the purchase of 21st Century Fox is looking to be finalized. So Disney buying 21st Century Fox is looking to be finalized by either the spring or summer of 2019, according to Deadline. So that would be an entire year from now, which basically means once they buy them, that's when they can start really working on projects. I mean, it's possible that they have some ideas and stuff. In terms of Star Wars, this really doesn't mean that much. There's a little bit of stuff it could mean, but really not much. So I don't know. I'm interested to see how this works out. This has a lot more implications for Marvel, in all honesty. So in terms of
Yeah.
Star Wars stuff, I don't really care about it. It's just worth noting because it will impact them somewhat because some of the film rights for certain versions of some of the movies do belong to Fox, so they can re-release some and stuff. But they've already done some negotiating to really re-release some at certain points. So it's not ton of stuff. It's like not big news or not any big events, but hey, it would be nice to just have everything belong to one company
I can't
for
wait
Star
to
Wars
see.
rights.
I can't wait to see when like Disney purchases America. I'd be like Louisiana Purchase kind of thing.
Wouldn't be surprised. But next, according to whatchamacallit, the
The internet.
a Cannes Film Festival. I couldn't remember what it was called. So the Cannes Film Festival, where they will be showing off Solo, a Star Wars movie. We have the runtime because it has Ron. It says out of competition. There's Ron Howard, Solo, Star Wars movie as the director title, and then running time is 2 hours 15 minutes. So yes, and if you're curious, The Force Awakens was 2 hours and 15 minutes. Also, Rogue One was 2 hours and 13 minutes. The Last Jedi was 2 hours and 32 minutes. And then, yes, Solo will be 2 hours and 15 minutes.
But will there be a cutscene?
I highly, highly doubt it. Although,
Well, we didn't think there was gonna be sequels, so now we don't know.
well, there still might not be sequels, but you know what? If there, I don't know. I feel like if they were ever going to put a a cutscene in a Star Wars movie, this would be where they would start doing it. But I highly doubt it. But in all honesty, if they are going to do sequels and stuff, I wouldn't be super surprised if there was a cut, like a post-credit scene type thing. But who knows? I highly doubt it, but especially with the 2 hours and 15 minutes running time, that puts it at the same exact time as The Force Awakens, and so like it seems like they have a lot of story to tell. So I feel like that would be shoving in more. Like if they had a post credit scene, which would be like a couple minutes, I feel like it'd be a little bit longer. But I don't know. I don't know. So we'll see. Who knows? Maybe it's actually the same running time as Rogue One, and there's 2 minutes or just a end credit scene. We're not. I'm mainly kidding. We don't know that at all. That is, then you have no evidence to think that, but it's possible. And then the last bit of news, which has kind of just been disproven, but not necessarily disproven, but there was rumors going around about Star Wars Celebration 2019, possibly about the whatchamacallit, the location and date. It was specifically saying that it may be in Anaheim, I think it's the name of the place, but a lot of evidence is now pointing to this being false. So
Dun dun dun.
basically, we all hope that Star Wars Celebration happens again in 2019 because, hey, that's really, there's cool news that comes out of there. It's for the fans, all that. It's fun. It's a really cool time, and, I've never gotten to go, but it is really cool to see the coverage of it. Everyone's super excited. It just seems like a really great time. It would be cool to go at some point, in my life, but certainly I'm not making that trip anytime soon. But hey, I certainly hope it happens in 2019, and I'm pretty sure it's supposed to, but we know nothing really solid about when or where it's going to be. So as of right now, just don't take any rumors you hear too seriously would be my advice, and just wait till we'll get an official announcement before it happens. That's all that matters. So yeah, there's that. Now the comics. Have
Oh,
you?
I just, I just,
Did you see
I
the
just
new
got.
Vader issue?
I didn't read that. I know what happens in it, but I was just getting caught up this week.
So, just a slight. So, here's a spoiler warning if for Vader issue 14 of the
Ah,
new series.
ah, ah,
So, just so you know, we are going to discuss spoilers.
ah! It's
We're
only
going to
on
say what
14,
happens.
really.
Yeah, it's only. I mean, it's on 14, but it's so good.
That's why I'm upset because I just read. I'm going to read 12 after this, and I'm like, damn it! I thought I had to like 18 or 19. That's where I thought it was. Now I'm upset.
Oh,
Ah,
because you only have a couple issues left.
yeah. Oh my god, it's so
Yeah,
good.
but it's such a good series. So this issue is specifically about Vader hunting down the Jedi that somehow knew he was Skywalker in the last issue, and we get his reveal. What's his name? Basically, his name isn't important because he's no one
Jar
we
Jar
know.
Binks.
We all thought he was gonna be someone we knew, but he's not.
Joe Costa knew.
No, she's already
Oh,
dead. He
oh,
dealt with her.
oh.
Um, but it's the same species as I think his name's Saci Tin. He's Jedi
I
Council
thought.
member.
Yeah, I thought it was him at first, honestly.
No, Sidious gutted him. This
Oh
one's missing
right,
this.
right.
Yeah, I was gonna say this one's missing a horn. Same exact species, but he's all angry and stuff about Order 66, as one would be. Um, but he I found it very interesting. He's like the first one to actually like pay people to splice into the temple and stuff like that and get footage of what happened. Like I think that's a very reasonable thing, like for any of the Jedi who were stranded to want to do, like try to find out what happened. I
Yeah.
find it interesting that he's really the only one that I think was like pretty successful in finding out exactly what happened. He knows that Anakin Skywalker went in, like he knows what happened, like that he got turned. I don't think he knows exactly why Anakin was turned, but he knows that Anakin was supposed to be chosen one, and that Anakin is Darth Vader, and
You
that
were the
he
chosen
slaughtered
one.
young ones and stuff like that. He specifically says he was we thought he was the chosen one. We were wrong. Um, and then he has footage of
Allegedly.
he is well,
Allegedly.
they weren't wrong, but they all think that they're
Yeah.
wrong. Just like Obi-Wan Kenobi says in Rebels that Luke is the chosen one. Luke is not the chosen one. If you weren't aware, it is
He is
Anakin's.
a chosen one.
Nah, it's Anakin. I
So
mean, it's
there's
possible we
always a
get another
chosen
one, but it's Anakin Skywalker is the chosen one. Which is why I really hope they don't like try to make Rey another chosen one, because then it's like the chosen two, which isn't the
one.
chosen one. I'm just pointing that out there. But anyways, I digress. So we get this new Jedi Master, which I find it a bit odd that we're going to. They're foreshadowing like this Jedi knows who he is. Like it's very like we all thought it was going to be someone that we know, and then it's not. This guy seems interesting. It's just I'm really curious if this book is going to show any Jedi that we know from now on. We already got Jocasta new. I'm saying like anytime eventually, like within the series run, if we are going to get another Jedi that we have like seen before the Purge that
Do you,
survives. Um,
I got.
I mean,
Do you?
personally,
Do you think?
I hope Windu.
Oh, yeah, I would love that.
I doubt it.
Ugh.
I highly, highly doubt it. But that
Do,
is so what I would want.
do you think that, like in the comics, they'd bring back Starkiller?
I don't think they're ever going to touch Starkiller in canon. I absolutely love
Yeah.
Starkiller, but I highly doubt it. And in all honesty, you can't bring him into canon with how overpowered he was and make it really work. You'd have to change him, and then if he's not as overpowered, it's not as cool. But
Yeah. I
so
just remember like back like a year or two ago, everyone's just like
speculating
Ezra's
that
gonna be
he.
Starkiller. Ezra's gonna be Starkiller.
Oh, I never thought he was going to be Starkiller, but I did wonder if Starkiller would be an Inquisitor on Rebels at some point. But
Yeah.
alas, no. But we get Vader with the Inquisitors, which is, it's cool. We find out the name of the Inquisitor that debuted in the last issue is apparently called the 10th Brother. So we have another Inquisitor. Uh, but it's cool. And also the Jedi Master knows that the Inquisitors are other fallen Jedi
Yeah.
as well, traitors. Um, and then we get a bit of a Clone Wars throwback in
Yeah.
this with a flashback to Anakin. He's like he's saying he knows what the king will do because he met this king of the they're called the yeah, is that their what's the species name?
Moncari
Mon
or Malkari. I can't remember.
I was gonna say it's hard for me to
Admiral Akbar's.
who is actually in the last issue as well. I don't know if he was in this one. I don't remember if he was in any panels, but I'm like googling. Yeah, it's a Mon Calamari. Okay, that's what I was kind of thinking. Mon Calamari. So both him and Radis will eventually escape. And also, due to a canon comic that takes place later in the timeline with, like, I think it's Leia and Luke trying to rescue the king, we know that the king of the Mon Calamari is going to get captured by Vader. He's not going to die, but he's
No.
going to get captured. But Vader, we get a flashback of him during the Clone Wars. So you get to see, actually, this is Ahsoka in the Vader comic. Not how you would expect it, but, well, actually, probably how you would expect it, because you wouldn't expect it any other way, since she doesn't meet him till Rebels. But alas, we get a little throwback. So Anakin, I think it's just very interesting to see that Anakin is still very much holding on to his memories. Like, there's some Anakin in there. It's not just Darth Vader, because
That
he
I
even
do
admired
hope.
him. But
I do hope with the comic because I don't know how far they're taking it.
hmm
I do hope they keep like hinting at that somehow, like how much of Anakin is left or something.
hmm I think they're trying to show the journey of, like, Anakin kind of disappearing, like being part of him, but still how he transforms into Darth Vader gradually, and that there
Yeah.
is almost nothing left by the time of the original trilogy. But I do like, especially how now they are showing that, oh yeah, there's still certainly some Anakin in him, which, it'd be weird if there wasn't. And by the end of this issue, we get to see him swept into the ocean, which he's totally
Oh.
fine breathing. He's just floating. I mean, he can float in space, so there's no reason he wouldn't be
He
fine in the
can?
water. Yeah, he isn't. He can just walk around in space.
I
Uh,
didn't know that.
yep, his suit
Wow.
totally protects him.
We're doing a Darth Vader quiz soon.
Yes, we should.
Fun.
But then he's totally fine in the water as well, and that's where the issue ends, because the basically the building is destroyed that they were in, and they're all swept into the ocean. I'm curious. Some of the Inquisitors have to live, because I think one or two of them was one of the ones in Rebels. I could be wrong though. I thought one of them was one of the ones that
Um,
debuted.
is it the fifth brother or the eighth brother that
Not.
showed up in Rebels?
I'm thinking of. Was it the fifth brother? It's the seventh sister and the fifth brother, I think, were the two main ones of season two. But then the one that shows up at the end of season two.
The helicopter one.
Yeah, I don't remember his. Well, then they all became helicopter ones, but I don't remember that one's name. But I think that might be the eighth brother. I don't know, but I
Yeah.
think that I think he was in this issue. I cannot remember though. Either way, I don't think all the
Maybe
Inquisitors
he
will die,
helicopter
but
away.
but I don't know. I'm curious what's gonna happen to the Inquisitors, because obviously we know Vader's fine, and I would say I'm curious what's gonna happen to this Jedi Master, but I'm pretty sure Vader's gonna kill him. I'm
Dun
curious
dun
what they'll.
dun.
But since he knows he's Anakin, I'm kind of curious what the conversation will be. Will it be like, Anakin, you were the chosen one? And he'll
I
be like,
hate you.
yeah, I hate you. I don't know, but I find it very interesting. Overall, I got to say, excellent issue. This
Oh, it's
series
so
overall
good.
is so good. If you don't watch it, I don't know why you don't watch it, because it's so
You
good.
mean read it?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I usually I watch my comics digitally, like I
I
have them play
buy.
automatically, but.
I buy it. So then when I'm reading it and like my family's around me, I still do the same noises I just did. So they're going, ugh! Like when he's just force choking people, like whipping them around.
Mhm.
I have to do that.
But yeah, like I said, I watch them digitally. But this is a series that I do plan on going back and buying trades of whenever the series is over, like buying every single uh, issue of this series, because it is by far my favorite Star Wars comic that they've done and are doing. Period. Nothing has come close yet. I mean, if they do a Mace Windu comic of him post Revenge of the Sith being alive, maybe that could top it. But as of right now, there's nothing to top this in terms of canon comics, for me at
I
least.
I want a Yoda comic of like him just at the swamp.
Just chilling. Apparently, I saw on one of the Star Wars fact pages that in canon, there actually were Imperial probe droids sent to Dagobah, and that Yoda destroyed them.
See, I think that would be cool. It was like him, like just a one shot of like him adjusting
Mm-hmm.
or
Like,
like skipping over the years. That would be cool.
yeah, I think that'd certainly be interesting.
S
But
speaking of Yoda, Did you know that it is rumored that he's going to show up in episode 9?
Yeah. I mean, it's been rumored that he was going to show up in every single sequel so far, and it turned out it was true for 9, for 8. Wasn't true for 7. But,
He's
yeah.
he is supposed to come back and like tell Ray that she did it pretty much.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Force Ghost scene at the end with Yoda, Luke, and maybe Anakin, and or maybe Kenobi, or maybe both at the end of Episode 9, almost like a end of Return of the Jedi. Especially considering J.J. Abrams is directing this movie, I expect this to be a very heavy homage to Return of the Jedi. It's just my
Maybe
personal guess. So
oh Yoda shows up. He's like, "Hey, they got it all wrong. You're my granddaughter."
that would be hilarious. But yeah, I'm really curious. I wouldn't place any solid bets on those rumors. I mean, I think it's already pretty likely, just considering he showed up in 8. I think it'd be a bit weird for him to not show up in 9, like considering when have we ever gotten Force Ghosts that show up in one movie and then not later?
Anakin.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't. I mean, in a trilogy, so like Obi-Wan shows up later. Uh, after he dies, he shows up. Then he also shows up again as Force Ghost. So I'm guessing we'll see
I
Luke
didn't know
show
that.
up, and then I'm guessing Luke and Yoda will be, just chilling out together. Maybe we'll have Anakin. Maybe we'll have Obi-Wan. Maybe we'll have Qui-Gon. We're not gonna get Qui-Gon, but it'd be cool. Um, but yeah. But speaking of mixing and matching eras, I have a question.
I have an
Uh,
answer.
What is your favorite era? So that's our discussion topic, which is I'm trying to keep somewhat short because we are
Like,
tight on time.
can
But
canon or non-canon?
uh, just canon as of right now. Now every canon material. It's not just the films. Not just the films.
My favorite time period.
Also, Rebels. I'm going to say counts as. I was gonna say it counts as prequel. Is a prequel era, even though it's really in between. It's hard to define it to one, and it has an original trilogy feeling to it. But in all honesty, original trilogy era does not start till Luke gets off his butt, in
I'm
my opinion. So,
I, I I'm gonna say I really like Clone Wars. Clone Wars is really solid.
prequel era is yours. That is
Yeah,
also
technically speaking, yeah.
canon. Yeah, I would absolutely agree with you. Yeah, mainly because the Clone Wars, and also if you count Rebels in, then for sure. Also, this Vader comic that we're talking about, which is canon,
Yeah.
is also that is clearly like prequel era because it's I count prequel era as anything before original trilogy. So the formation of the
See,
Empire, the
I would
very early
say
days counts.
the way I look at it is prequel is 1 up to Rebels. That's how I look at it.
Not Rogue One.
No, I'm gonna say because you can almost like Rebels is the odd one. You can almost consider that its own little era if you want to.
Because it's in between so much. I think because it ties so heavily to Clone Wars and the arcs and stuff that's why I count it as being still part of the prequel era. But either way, because of Clone Wars especially, I would say that yeah, prequel era is my favorite because there's so many characters and just ideas and stuff in it that are so cool that I think are great. Now the films themselves, I personally do love Revenge of the Sith. The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones are rough movies. They certainly have their moments, but they are rough movies.
They have Darth Maul.
Yeah, well, one of them does. But overall, the era, I think that's my favorite. I think it's the richest. It brought so much more to Star Wars than I think any other era has. I mean, not. I mean, original trilogy brought everything we have into it, but this expanded it more than the sequels have. Which don't get me wrong, absolutely love the sequels, and they're not over. So who knows? Maybe episode 9 will be such a great finale, and that it'll be our favorite trilogy of movies, and then we'll get some more canon material, books, and maybe even a show during that era, and it'll end up
And
being
we'll
our
just
favorite.
keep
But
going.
who knows?
It doesn't stop.
I really hope we get some kind of show that pertains to that, but finishing off Rebels storylines, almost like Rebels finished off Clone Wars storylines.
Dude.
But
Okay. I got some Rebels really makes you question how genetics work in Star Wars.
How genetics work? Did
Like
you
like
did you
like the
watch the
kid at the end.
finale yet?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, all right. So slight spoilers for the Rebels finale if you haven't watched it yet. Wait, what kid at the end? I don't know what you're talking
Like
about.
Jason.
Is it his friend?
No, it's like the little green-haired kid. I think it sounds like Jason to me,
Oh, you mean the
but
son of
I'm sh
Kanan and Hera,
yeah. Is it? How do you say it?
Jason Syndulla?
Yeah. That makes me think of Star Lord, like Jason. But I
Uh,
digress. But like, how did they have a kid? Why does it look like that? And on top of that, just like biologically speaking, I gotta ask: is that kid fertile?
that's a
Does
good
that kid have
question.
to die?
I feel
Oh
like
my God!
does he have to die? What do you mean?
What if he died? What if he died?
I
Oh,
highly
that
doubt it. But
fucked.
I I don't know. I kind of wondered that as well, and I thought it was a little interesting that they put that in there. I wasn't expecting that.
I was
But
really concerned. I'm like, why do you have a 5-year-old in the middle of a war zone?
I was confused. Well, I think they were trying to say that that was post Return of the Jedi,
Yeah.
that her flying like literally right after. But I don't know. Um, Also, why did it take that long for Captain Rex to become a commander? Just putting that out there. It should not have taken that long. The Battle of
Triggered.
Endor is when he got
Triggered.
the rank of commander. Captain Rex is literally the best clone out of all of them. But anyways,
We need now. We don't even know how he dies.
it's still possible we could find out, but I don't know. I don't think I want to know how Rex dies. I'd rather him not. I
I
mean,
want it
we
to be
know that
like
he dies, but I don't know.
you know what would be cool? Like this would be very sad, but like, what if Hera died and like he's the one that raised Jason? Because then it could be like an old man Logan kind of thing.
I don't know, but he seemed pretty jolly in Rebels. Like in Rebel, I
I
don't know.
know, but just like him training
I'm
him, I think that'd
curious.
be
I think I am. I'm pretty darn curious if they're gonna bring that kid back though for anything. I do think that was. I thought that was odd to insert. I mean, I guess they follow up on it later, and maybe, but I thought that was kind of odd to just put in there. I mean, I guess it's happy ending stuff, but the main thing I want to see followed up is Thrawn and Ezra.
nah. We don't need to know.
Shut up.
We don't need to know.
But
We don't
yeah,
need to know where those squid whales took them.
now, non-canon for our discussion topic. What is our favorite era? Non-canon. What would you say?
We definitely talked about this before. I love post episode 6 because I love
Mm-hmm.
Crate.
Great's
I
very cool.
like there's a lot of stuff to
Old
get.
Republic is also cool because it's an entire other era that
Yeah,
that you
I
don't get
know.
canon.
It's a tough one for me, but like there's
Yeah,
just a lot of
I
cool
think
stuff that
that my favorite would actually be original trilogy, only because there's so many cool Vader stories, and Vader's one of my favorite characters. I don't know though, because we also got Thrawn from
yeah, we got it. We got
from
Thrawn.
Post Return of
We
the
got
Jedi. So there's
Crate.
Thrawn and Crate, which
We
are
got
all pretty darn
the
cool.
Mother.
You're talking about is her name
Abeloth.
Abeloth?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of really good stuff, but yeah, that's our thoughts. If what's your favorite era? I have a feeling that most people's is original trilogy. Now, again, let us know canon, non-canon, and specifically, we're not just talking about films. We will talk about that, like just specifically, once 9 is out. What is your favorite trilogy of films? Um, but anyways, we're not there yet. So let us know specifically what is your favorite era of Star Wars. Is it the era you were, born into? Did you learn to love another era? Is it the sequel? I'm curious if anyone thinks the sequel trilogy era is their favorite, because Kylo Ren is a pretty awesome character. It's just I need more material. Like
I want him to
I
wear his
love
helmet
him.
more.
You know what? Before the movie came out, I really did too. After the movie, I'm so okay that he doesn't. I mean, if he got a brand new super cool helmet design for the next movie, or decided to debut his, classic helmet again, I say classic. It's not classic, but you know what I mean. The same helmet. I would be okay with it. But like, honestly, I feel like in my eyes, he's earned the like he's. I love him so much. He doesn't need the helmet for me to love him now. if you know what I mean. Like, because initially it was just like, oh, he's the lightsaber and the helmet, like that's what makes him cool. And in the Force Awakens, whenever he took off his helmet for that scene, it was just like, like I don't like him as much now. After the Last Jedi, though, I find his character so interesting and
Like
stuff, which
freaking smashes it.
which he didn't wear the helmet. Yeah, I was gonna say he didn't wear the helmet almost at all, and he smashes it himself. I'm like, no, he's earned the right to not wear the helmet anymore. He's still cool in my eyes, helmet or not. So not that I complain if he had a helmet, but he's earned the right to not have it for me at least.
He can move scars on his face.
I'm
That's why he deserves not
curious
to wear
if
the mask.
canon will. I am sure that at some point in canon we will get an explanation as to how that happened, or in some special edition of uh, the Force Awakens at some point they'll digitally move his scar. I am
Oh yeah,
certain
that is
one of
totally
those
right.
one of
That is
those two
def.
things will
Yep.
happen. They will either they will either do some editing to move his scar in another version of the Force Awakens that they release at some point, maybe in a trilogy set once nine's out, or in canon, like in a comic or something, they'll explain how they had to like shift the skin or something. Or it could be even like a Vader type thing where like they could have made the scar go completely away, but Snoke's like, no, move it right over his like I want it not healed and I want it like moved right over his eye, and so that's what they like medical droids or something do that. Although it goes all the way down his like shoulder, like his chest, and like it's not just on his face. People are very mistaken by that. Like they moved it where it is on his face because they thought it didn't look as good, but like if you didn't realize in the shirtless scene, his scar goes like all the way down. It goes like all the way down his neck and onto his shoulder blade and not his shoulder blade, like down his like part of his chest, I think. Either way, it's a massive scar, a lot bigger than just a
I
tiny
feel like
thing over his eye.
if it just would have been a chest scar, that would have been pretty cool. I would have been happy with that.
Yeah, but that'd be covered up all the time. I like the scar over his eye. It's Anakin-y.
Now he can just be shirtless all the time. How about he's shirtless all the time, but then wears the mask?
Also, did you notice that his scar? He had the scar from Chewbacca's blast to his stomach.
I did not.
Yeah, you can actually kind of slightly see that. It's mostly covered up by the pants, but you can slightly see it, which I don't understand why everyone was weirded out by his pants. Uh, they wear frickin' skirts, people. Like
It's just so big.
you're surprised
It's
by
just so
the
No,
high waisted pants.
I'm surprised how jacked he is. Okay, that's what's surprising to me.
I mean, I'm not. Do you know what they pay them to get that much in shape? Like, I would get that in shape if you paid me millions of dollars. Just saying. Okay, not millions of dollars. It's more like thousands, hundreds of thousands probably. But I digress. But anyways, since you've heard us talk plenty about the sequel trilogy, if that's your favorite era, certainly let us know. But the way you can let us know is by tweeting at Nerdy Geek Talk and let us know, or personally at Eric Crowbar. You can find me. Or Luke, you're at Darth underscore Sands66, correct?
And I use Twitter now. I hope
Yeah.
you're proud of me, Dad.
Yeah, I've seen that you've been tweeting, and I'm proud. Good job, son. Uh, but also, if you do like this podcast, why not share it
I
out?
do. I
Because
do.
you know, downloads are starting to go up for this, so that's neat. And we have a podcast for literally every single day of the week.
We
So,
do?
yes, we do now. We just started
Why
a
am
brand
I
new
always
show.
out of the loop with this stuff?
The way you can so the way you can keep up on all those podcasts is by subscribing to Nerdy Geek Talk on any of your favorite podcasting places: Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean, all those places. Nerdy Geek Talk is where you subscribe to. That's our network of podcasts to listen to Mandalore Mandate and all our other shows, which I'll list what we have this week in just a sec. Also subscribe on YouTube because why not? Where Nerdy Geek Talk also, where we'll
Why
have all the
not?
podcasts posted as well. Although I'd recommend listening to podcast places for podcasts, but we also should have some more videos going up at some point. I'm hoping within the next week or two, I will be able to do a little funny skit video, which will pertain to Star Wars. It'll be a funny Star Wars skit video, but either way, something will be up eventually. So definitely go subscribe to YouTube as well. And I named all our other stuff. So, other things you can check out this week. Holocron Herald, our brand new episode. It will be episode. Actually, do you remember what episode we're on? I cannot remember now.
24?
That sounds right.
23 or 24.
We
I always forget.
definitely already did 23. So yeah, it's 24. I just checked.
24.
24, which we're literally recording right after this, will be going up the day after this goes up, which will be about season 1, episode 15, 17, and 18. We already did 16 because it's earlier in we're doing chronological order, which 15 is a standalone episode, which is pretty rare. And then 17
Da,
and
da,
18
da.
are a story arc with the mad scientist on Naboo. Very interesting that we're going back to a new
He
Naboo. But
sounds like
yeah,
Skeletor.
yes. But definitely go check that out because they're some entertaining episodes. And yeah, also on the network we have a newest episode of Awesome Asylum. I was not on that, so I know
Oh, neither was I.
they talked about Teen Titans. I should have asked you actually. I asked the
I
group
love
chat.
Teen Titans.
Talked about the
Oh
new
my!
Teen Titans
Please,
show.
please, somebody talked about how they looked.
Yeah, they were talking about some of the costume designs.
uh,
They
my childhood.
talked about some other stuff. I think Incredibles trailer. Also, the new Spider-Man PS4 game. There's some more images. They're talking about that on there. Um, Also, the most recent episode of Steel City Bots, episode 32, Toys, 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 just went up, which we talk about plenty of brand new toys we got and some other news, but mainly we got a lot of cool stuff and how awesome
Nerd.
Studio Series is so good. Also, I bought a Pacific Rim Uprising toy, even though I haven't seen
Oh,
Pacific Rim
oh,
Uprising,
I don't
which
want to see it.
I don't know if I plan on seeing it because I've heard at best it's just okay. So I don't know, but
Aggressively
either way,
average.
go listen to that if you're that's a Transformers podcast. Other Transformers podcasts we have Steel City. No, I just said Steel City Bots. Excuse me. Um, Misaligned. There was not a new episode of that this past week, but
What is
there was one
misaligned?
2 weeks. That's about the aligned continuity of Transformers. It's a lore podcast, so they go over the lore.
Uh, I
Um,
love world building.
yeah, so they'll be doing the next episode of that. They'll be recording, so that should go up Thursday, and that will be about the Cybertron video game. So War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron, and then Rise of the Dark Spark as well, which is some really awesome material. Fall of Cybertron is one of my favorite pieces of Transformers fiction in general, and it's a video game, so it's pretty darn impressive to do. So I really liked that. So I'm excited for this episode, but definitely go give that a listen as well. They tried to record it last week, it just didn't go well, so it certainly will be up this week. TF Primecast didn't go up last week, but that was not my fault. It was out of my control. I was stuck on delayed buses for far longer than I expected, so I didn't get to sleep at night, so I didn't get to record it the following morning. But there will be a new episode of that as well. Talking about episodes, I believe 8 and 9 of Transformers Prime, Season 1. And that'll be breaking that down. And then the other show is our brand new show, actually. Brand new podcast. If you're into anime,
I am.
we
How did you
have
know?
we have an anime podcast now.
Oh, I'm doing that.
It's
When,
called
what day do you do that?
Anime Overdrive. I think they record Fridays.
Ah, I really want to do that.
You can totally be on. I will. I'm not on that show, but
Like, if you think I'm obnoxious and over the top about like Star Wars, you've never seen me talk about an
you'll
anime.
fit
You've
right
never
in.
seen me talk about it.
No, but it's Alyssa, who's new to the Nerdy Geek.
I don't
New to
even
the
know her.
Alyssa is new to the Nerdy Geek Talk Network. I've podcasted with her a couple times, but this is her debut on our network. So definitely go check it out for her at least. And they're gonna explain what the episode, like what the show's gonna be. But also Aaron Marayasha is on that as well, and Christabella from Steel City Bot. So if you're interested in anime at all, which
I am.
a lot more people than I thought would be are, so definitely go check that
okay.
out.
You're not for this.
I mean, it's okay. Anyways, so yeah, go check it out if you want to. I still need to listen to it. I'm probably only going to listen to the first episode, I'll admit. But hey, well, actually, probably the first couple episodes because Alyssa's hosting, so I told her I'd help her in terms of that. But so yeah, definitely go check that out and listen for Luke to possibly be on that one at some point. Hopefully next episode. Luke, I will try. I will get you a spot on that podcast.
Like, just have her listen to this episode of like me randomly cutting off rambling, and there we go. That's my interview right there.
You'll get along with Christabella quite well. But anyways, yeah. So definitely go check out all that good stuff. And I think that's about it. So thanks for listening this week. And yeah, that's about it. Bye, guys.